I'm Angie Coleman, and I'm going to share with you Francois Gagne's differentiated model of giftedness and talent, or DMGT for short. DMGT assumes a big relationship between what you're born with or your natural abilities and your learning ease and speed that occurs when you're picking up new skills. The theory is based upon the idea that gifted population is divided by giftedness and talent. Giftedness is your potential, your aptitude, your promise. Gagne believes the top 10% of individuals in that area would be considered gifted. So it's just your natural abilities that you're born with that no one has taught you. Examples would be intellectual, creative, socioaffective, and physical. An intellectual gift would be, or IG, would be your reasoning, your memory, your observation, your judgment from a very young age. Your creative abilities, or CG, would be your problem solving, your imagination, how original you are with your thinking, the way you look at the world. Your socioaffective is how do you deal with people, how do people perceive you, how well you communicate, how you can influence. And the last one is sensory motor. How does your body work for you? Your motor, your coordination, your strength, your endurance, your ability to run for really long times, your reflexes, how everything works together for you in your body. And those are all innate. Talent is something different. It is something that you achieve or realize. It's the fulfillment of your gifts, and that requires some effort with you and others. And he talks about this thing called catalyst. So like in chemistry, it would be the factor that would accelerate or hinder the mastery of your skills. And he divides them into some different types of catalysts. You have your intrapersonal catalyst and your environmental catalyst. Intrapersonal would be like your physical, mental characteristics. Like how mature is this person? How aware are you of yourself and of others? Are you a motivated person? If you fail, are you persevering? Are you trying to get back up and keep going? So it would all be your internal struggles. Environmental examples would be things like what culture are you born into? How much money does your family have? Do they have enough money to send you to tutoring outside or give you enrichment activities? What are your parents' value systems toward education? Are you the oldest child, the youngest child? How much time do you actually get with them? What kind of peers do you surround yourself with? Are they people who value education? Is your teacher certified in the area that you're gifted? What kind of curriculum do they provide? And what pacing do they give you on that? Is it too slow, too fast? Your grouping, are you with friends that are on your level of giftedness, or are you teaching those people? What events and awards what motivations do you have that would cause that gifted learner to really work on that trait or skill? Both of these examples would rely on one element and would be chance, because you don't have any control of how you're born, what you're like, where you're born, who you're born to, how much money you have. All of these things have to go through these developmental processes to lead to the talent, to the mastery. Developmental processes take 4 forms: maturation, informal learning, formal non-institutional learning, and formal institutional learning. The first one is maturation, which would just be controlled by biology, how fast you mature and what gifts you are given. The second one would be informal learning. It's unstructured daily activities that usually come to kids at a very young age, maybe even before school starts, like how they think, how they master activities that you would do before kindergarten. The third one is formal non-institutional learning, and that is your self-taught learning, your hobbies, your interests outside of school, how much time you spend on something. Maybe it's learning a Rubik's Cube, maybe it's studying politics, but it would be more of a hobby. And then your formal institutional learning is the most commonly studied one, which would be institutionally based, and you would actually have some form of recognition of your talents or your gifts. When your potential is realized and all of these things come together with the development and your gifts, then you would have talent competency. And Gagne says the top 10% of the learners would have talent, would be considered talented. He divides those into academic section, which would be language, math, science, humanities. Arts, the artistic people, creative, performing, visual, written, spoken, music, arts folks. You have your social action talented, which would be your media people, your public office, so would go into politics or try to make public change. Sports, people who, individual sports, team sports, the professional athletes. Your leisure activities, which are interesting, people who are really talented at chess or video games, puzzles, cooking, gardening, handymen. And your business, your entrepreneurs, the people who just love to sell, kind of your Shark Tank people, and your management people. Technology and engineering is also one of the areas of talent, and people who are really great with computers, etc. With the top 10% cutoff, Gagne used a 5-level system labeling giftedness or talent as mildly, moderately, highly, exceptionally, or extremely. After the training was complete, these measurements fade because, except for professional athletes, you're really not measured on a regular basis after you've attained completion of the training. But all in all, this is the framework, the model for giftedness, gifted and talent in Gagne's differentiated model of giftedness and talent. So I thank you very much for listening.